Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsGamer. Welcome back to our coverage of the ECL Elite Division, and welcome to our final bit of coverage here for 2023 as we cap off the regular season here tonight, leading up, of course, to the start of the playoffs at the beginning of the new year. And two big matchups see us through, well, the end of this year and the end of this regular season.
Yeah, and this first one, especially Mayhems and Tunnel Vision. I mean, Mayhems trying to hold on to one of those latter playoff spots, whereas Tunnel Vision is, near the top of the bracket here, and they're hungry to try to solidify that #1 seed and get the best possible matchup for their first round that they can.
Well, with that, we'll take a look here at the standings as things are at the moment, as again, a 30-game regular season brings us to this point. And right now, as things stand, it is Jyväskylä holding on to that #1 seed by 1 point over Tunnel Vision. But you cannot discount Strikers, who have those extra 2 games at hand. And they are, of course, well, pun intended, within striking distance at this time. But as we look through the bracket, of course, certain things are still up in the air at this point in time. We wondered, of course, if Unwanted were going to hold on to their playoff spot, and ultimately they will. Obviously, unless Mayhems have the tiebreaker at this stage, and I'm not sure if they do have the tiebreaker over Unwanted, but it's that 8th seed right now. Blackjacks, Mayhems in the mix. Mayhems in our first matchup. Difficult matchup against Tunnel Vision. But if they get the result today, they could see themselves into the playoffs. I think they'll be disappointed if they don't make it and feel like they would have left something on the table. And of course, the very bottom of the standings as well. Still a lot to be played for. Lekstugan, with 4 games left, could still dig themselves out of that hole of 16th place. Again, if they do finish there, they are automatically relegated.
Yeah, and that's definitely not the place they want to be. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Mayhems, this is about as tough of a matchup as you're going to get when you're trying to work your way in the playoffs. You got to think, like, you need at least a regulation win out of this. That's going to be tough against this Tunnel Vision team, but definitely not out of the question. I'd say if you're Mayhems, you got to be aiming for at least 4 out of 6 points. But even after that, you need some help. You're going to need some help from Blackjacks in their last matchup. You need them to miss out on points here. So tough going for Mayhems here, but anything's possible. So a lot on the line. They're going to be coming out hungry.
We'll be keeping an eye out on everything going on throughout the league, but indeed, right now, the vast majority of the playoff spots decided, and our opening matchup here will go a long way in deciding that 8th seed. Let's get a look here at the numbers for these two teams on the season so far as they finish up their regular seasons here in this matchup. And Sin, not hard to see, of course, why Tunnel Vision are in the mix for that #1 seed heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, the goal differential is insane for them. I mean, nearly 60. And they might indeed get that in this matchup here. The power play is solid. Maybe not as crazy good as we thought it could have been, but I mean, the special teams in general is still really good. For Mayhems, their special teams looks great, but it's just they've struggled to kind of keep the puck out of the net in a lot of ways. And, having a negative goal differential is never a recipe to get into the playoffs, much less have playoff success. But if you can squeeze in, you never quite know what'll happen. We've seen upsets in the past.
It's an interesting spot, though, too. I mean, again, Mayhems trying to take that 8th seed away from the Blackjacks. We know Mayhems are taking on Tunnel Vision. Had to look it up for the Blackjacks, and they drew Strikers for their final matchup. So the same story. 2 teams battling for the top seed and 2 teams that are battling just to make it in. So it worked out perfectly. The script writers did incredibly well for this season. But with that, let's take a look at the lineups here for these two teams. Essentially, the lineups that I'd say they were looking to run in these scenarios of trying to get towards the top of the standings, as we, of course, have again for both sides. I'd say the lineup that they want, and to make up for time here, we'll jump to that center comparison early on as we have Kriketsi taking on Pro Filipaki. And in terms of the numbers so far this season, Sin, uh, Pro Filipaki's done well over a point per game at this stage, but it's been Kriketsi making that jump from Goons, where he was season after season, stepping into that center position for this team, and he's done very, very well in the process.
Yeah, he absolutely has. He has 62 points in 28 games played. We'll try to get that graphic for you as soon as we can. And 29 goals. He hasn't been very strong in the face-off dot, but his opponent hasn't really been either. Both of them are a little bit below that 50% mark. But, it'll come down to who gets the better of the other one in this matchup, especially as we know possession is going to play a big role, and, some of those set plays in the offensive zone.
So again, we'll see what happens with that individual matchup. We'll go with some light technical issues on our side of things, so bear with us here as we get things going. Actually, here, I mean, Sin, we can move ahead. All right, the center matchup, of course, there you see on your screen now the numbers that we were referring to. Also worth noting, of course, this face-off battle as well. Those numbers are close, and we'll see kind of who was able to break through here to get the advantage for their team. With that said, we'll move over to that winger comparison here next. As for Mayhems, it is Tempinen and Kolaslav taking on Vatu and Leitinen. And well, send the story, the right wings for both teams in the mix to win that scoring title.
Yeah, Lightning not having the type of season he had in the last one where he posted 90 points, but he does have 67 points, 37 of those being goals, and shooting the puck quite a bit, 169 shots. Vatu, of course, incredibly solid as well. A little bit less on the goal side, but still has 62 points. The front three for Tunnel Vision has been insanely strong, and on that flip side, I mean, Kolaslav has been phenomenal for Mayhems throughout the course of this season with 54 points, 35 of those being goals, and he's efficient with it too. Just 117 shots. I mean, that's an incredible shooting percentage.
I mean, absolutely. We know what the dynamic duo for Tunnel Vision are capable of. And again, a reminder, just some slight technical issues going off on our side of things. The good thing is we don't even necessarily need the visual side, of course, when talking about a team like Tunnel Vision, who have reigned supreme over the Elite Division over the last couple of seasons. Sin, again, we get a look at the numbers there. We'll throw it over to that defensive comparison up next. As for Mayhems, Nati and Pro Arska squaring off against Tombo and Wenger, who, you want to talk about dynamic duos over the last couple of seasons, maybe gets no better than what we have for Tunnel Vision.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's exactly what we expect out of Tunnel Vision. It's all five skaters who pull their weight on every side of the puck, and it's kind of surprising considering Wenger was the guy last season to be, posting all those points. Now Tumbo has 40 points in 28 games played, but just goes to show you that both of these guys are capable of playing really good shutdown and putting up absurd amounts of points from the back end here. So we'll have to see any possible awards that either of these two guys would be winning. And on that flip side, Nati has been tremendous, really, for Mayhems. I mean, 28 points, point per game on the back end. The hit number is insane with 237. Proarska has been solid indeed, but seems like he's also trying to just kind of solidify what his sort of role will be on the team. He's not putting up a huge amount of points, not super physical. He's blocking a decent number of shots, but a bit less than Nati as well. So we'll have to see what kind of, I don't know. I still just feel like he's trying to find his role in the elite and on this team.
Our final head-to-head, of course, the battle of the goaltenders. Viltsup taking on Bennu, and Again, for this season, Viltsup, I feel like one of the few. Whether or not that's statistically true, I'm not sure, but he does feel like one of the few who has been his team's lone goaltender. He's played every single game with really solid numbers. If they fall short of the playoffs, I don't think you're looking at the goaltender as the reason why. Bennu on the other side used to be that goaltender for his team. He's been more of a tandem or a part of a tandem for Tunnel Vision this season, but no surprise to see him putting up great numbers as he had for so many seasons before joining a top tier team.
Yeah, and we were always kind of waiting for, one of those top tier teams to perhaps pick this guy up, and he's not disappointed whatsoever with around 85% save percentage, sub to GAA. 2 shutouts to his credit, as you said, working in that tandem role. But Viltsup, despite the team in front of him not being a great defensive team, he has been solid. You can't really fault the goaltending for Mayhems and why they are where they are in the standings. He's done his job. He's trying to get, given his team a chance to win more often than not. And he's played every single game for him. So you can tell that this Mayhems team trusts their goaltender and they're going to ride with him until the end.
So with that, we are just a few moments away from puck drop, the regular season matchup between Mayhems and Tunnel Vision. Both teams with a lot to play for here in this one. As we mentioned, is Mayhems currently as the 9th seed, needing results here to get above the Blackjacks in the standings, who they themselves have a tough matchup today in the form of Strikers. As well, again, it's 2 teams on the fringe trying to make the playoffs against 2 teams that are battling neck and neck with the likes of Jyväskylä to take the number 1 seed heading into the postseason. Again, that will begin here after our holiday season, of course, and a holiday break as well. But for now, of course, we focus on the task at hand. Sind, you see the teams there in the locker room. No big surprises, I would say. Lack of a sniper for Tunnel Vision compared to Mayhems, but pretty much meta across the board there.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot more of the sniper build popping up. We actually saw one the other day of an offensive defenseman being played on the wing with that gold 1T, as it does have access to it. And that's something that I think we could also see a bit more of, as the sniper doesn't have as high of base defensive stats as an offensive defenseman would. And we know how important being able to defend for every single player is. So I have a feeling that down the road, we may indeed be seeing that offensive defenseman build kind of cropping up a bit more on the wing.
SportsGamer.gg/showdown has all the information that you need for the PlayStation Showdown, of course. Finish only for this particular tournament. 1v1, no 4v4 mats, 4v4 formats available as that kicks off very, very soon. How soon? Well, hey, you're going to have to check it out again. SportsGamer.gg/showdown. Again, for all the information that you need there. For now, we focus on the task at hand. And it's a big matchup here. Tunnel Vision, of course, in their home black and blue, taking on Mayhems. A little bit of early trouble there for Viltsup, forced to make a save in the opening minute.
Yeah, nearly fed that pass down low to Kraketsi, who would have had a one-on-one situation with Viltsup. So fortunate for Mayhems that pass didn't make it all the way through.
Guy up here off the draw. Leitinen in control. Sends it across. Big kick save for Viltsup on a tremendous early chance there. And that's a wake-up call for Mayhems.
Yeah, it absolutely has to be. That one could have easily been a goal. Viltsup may have gotten a bit lucky, slightly out of position, but he's able to get that right toe on it to keep the puck out.
Tunnel Vision again, able to maintain some offensive zone control. Combo back to the forehand, throws one on, it's blocked. Kraketsi right in the open space to get it back to him. Kraketsi again in control, full pressure very early on in this game for Tunnel Vision. A big hit there, but Mayhem's able to clear off that pressure. Tunnel Vision right back in, going to work. Shot there is stopped. Kraketsi again. Glove save, full pressure right back in effect. These Mayhems have been hemmed into their own zone here. They're not able to clear the pressure this time. Kraketsi tries the short side. And a great save by Viltzup. A tricky little shot there. I feel like most people would have expected that cross crease.
Absolutely. I was thinking he may have gone the cross crease, but I love the look to shoot right there. As you can see, the goaltender stamina bar was really low, so not a bad look.
Wenger in control. 14 seconds left on that full pressure. Wenger again, the shot, save again by Viltzup. Leitonen, another save. Viltzup having to stand on his head in the early stages of this game. Leitonen tries the short side. It doesn't go. Vatu as well, another save, and the backhand just wide. Vatu to the point, full pressure for the third time in less than 8 minutes of game time. Leitonen's shot deflects, gloved out of midair, and reprieve for the moment for Mayhems.
Well, Tunnel Vision is playing like Tunnel Vision right now. They are absolutely dominating. Their puck cycle is great. They're passing quickly. They're moving their feet. Looking amazing so far. It's a miracle they haven't scored yet as Kruketsi gets another shot on, but Viltzup has been solid there, making yet another save, trying to cover it, trying to just will his team to get the puck out of the zone at this point.
Here we go. 9 shots to 0 here so far for the defending champions. Vatu's shot blocked. Viltzup was down and out. Nati can't clear. 5 seconds left on the pressure in front. Kruketsi had it poked away. Vatu down low. Pressure alleviated. Penalty called. It'll be a power play for Tunnel Vision should they fail to score on this possession. Leitonen, low shot, rebound, just out of reach. Unbelievable start to this game for Tunnel Vision, and Sin, the pressure will continue here.
It absolutely will, and Tunnel Vision are playing unconscious right now. They are, I mean, seeming to read each other's minds out there. They always know where they're going to pass the puck before it even gets to them, it seems. And again, they're near full pressure right now. With the power play, this is going to get dangerous for Mayhems.
There are some teams that don't get full pressure 4 times in a game. Been 4 times already for Tunnel Vision as Profilipaki takes it away and sends it down. Resetting things here. 1:20 left on the power play for Tunnel Vision. Here's Wenger. Inching in, loses it. Koloslav does a good job to clear. For Mayhems, honestly, being on the kill might be better for them. It allows them to just send it down without icing the puck. Combo at the point. Searching. Kruketsi has it knocked loose. Arska's pass off the mark. Tunnel Vision back in control. Wenger looking. One-timer. Great chance for Kruketsi. Sends one off the pads of the goaltender. Nearly full pressure. There it is. But it's knocked loose. Foot race for the puck that Wenger will easily win. They are back to 5-on-5. Vatu force in front to Leitonen. Doesn't go. Ati tries to use the boards for Tempinen. Profilipaki to Koloslav. And finally the puck in the Tunnel Vision zone with Mayhems in control. Tricky short side shot is denied. Leitonen throws one on. Rebound out to the boards. Hit by Tombo, but they couldn't keep the puck in. Tombo again tried to find Kruketsi. Tempinen was there to take it away. Profilipaki recovers. 2.5 to go in the first period. It's been all Tunnel Vision, but still a tie game. Into the attacking zone. Mayhems trying to get their cycle going. Thought there might have been a trip. Not the shot. Good step in there by the defenseman. We hit the final minute. Wenger gets run over, but it's still Tunnel Vision into the attacking zone. Ketsi walks into too much trouble. Nati now down the other way. Takes a hit at the blue line. Body keeps it in. Koloslav shot saved. Final few seconds. Another opportunity. And Mayhems nearly stole a goal there at the end, but it is somehow, some way, still a goalless game after 20 minutes.
Well, it's thanks to Viltzup. He has had to make some pretty big saves here in the first period, and And quite a few of them as well. I mean, that one right there, probably his best of the period. Again, maybe the shot aim wasn't there and you kind of got rewarded with a save. But oh my goodness, 13 shots and 6.5 minutes of time on attack with Mayhems not quite reaching a minute. I mean, that was as dominant of a first period as we've perhaps seen all season. We know Mayhems are one of those teams fighting for the last seed in the playoffs. And Tunnel Vision just came out and flat out made them look like a relegation team. There's no other really way to put it here. I mean, they were so good, especially in the early stages of that first period. I think they kind of got a little bit away from their game at the end. I felt like they were holding the puck a little bit too long at times, and they were doing so much better when they're moving that puck quickly, particularly on 5-on-5. We'll see if they get back to that here in the second period.
As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It is the first game of 2 in the regular season matchup between Tunnel Vision and Mayhems as both teams wrap up their regular seasons in these 2 games. Again, Tunnel Vision very much in the mix for the #1 seed, while Mayhems currently 9th, trying to work their way into the playoff structure. But man, right now they got to find a way to get some momentum, to say the least, or I don't know how you want to.
They're just on their heels.
That first period, you know?
Yeah, they're on their heels. That's just the only way to put it, and the nice way to put it.
Ketsy's shot was interrupted. Up ahead for Koloslav, 35 goals on the season. Not often you'll see a team not in the playoff mix when having a goal scorer on 35 goals, a defenseman that's at a point per game, and a goaltender with an 82% save percentage. But that is the situation the Mayhems find themselves in. We talked about how competitive the league was every season, especially this season, it felt like. Proof is in the numbers. Now the pass off the mark, no icing. Tunnel Vision have some space down the other way. Vatu to Kriketsi. Good save again by Viltsup. Need a soundboard so I can hit that button and that same saying over and over. Wenger, the deflection bid in front. There's Kriketsi posted up. Here's Pro Filipaki for Mayhems. Down low in front. Few and far between the chances for Mayhems, but they feel dangerous. The force across, and they score. Not the way you want to see them score, not the way you think they would score, but you know Tunnel Vision are thankful for the goal, and they have the opening goal of this game.
Yeah, and it springs from a 2-on-1 after a force in the middle from the other end from Mayhems. It's a great recovery and pass up by Kriketsi, who springs Vatu and Leitinen with the speed as well, presenting the threat, pulling over to the defenseman. The pass doesn't get through, but it bounces towards the goaltender, and that's where Vatu comes in. He's able to sweep that one home.
29th of the season for Vatu, maintains that goal per game pace. There was a mistake here, though, for Tunnel Vision, has a power play chance coming up for Mayhems, and talk about an A-grade opportunity here.
Yeah, this is something that they have to do well on. Even if you don't score, you have to get some chances, generate some momentum right there. Leitinen is going to be sitting for 2, so this is exactly the kind of breath of life that Mayhems need to try to get back.
High up off the draw, Mayhems in control. Arska, look for that 1T, it wasn't there. Good job there by Tunnel Vision. They have a shorthanded chance. Wenger stepping up across. Not sure if it was Vatu or the defender to get a piece of it regardless. Oscaris doesn't go. Here's Tempinen. Koloslav on the half wall, takes his time, down low. And back to the point. Good movement here. One-timer from the odd angle. Penalty called. It'll be 5-on-3 for Mayhems.
I didn't quite catch the infraction, but I'm assuming it's coming from a net battle in front, probably a bump in front. So I believe the net front battles got tuned in a certain way where defensemen are not allowed to bump as much in front of the net. So 5-on-3 now for for Mayhems.
That's a weak call.
Yeah.
if those bumps have been taken away, that's a bit of a shame. in this commentator's opinion. 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Not the shot blocked down. Boleslav wanting to go back to it. What a great poke check by Kriketsi. It's 5-on-4 now. Here's Boleslav across. Dempinen couldn't tuck it. Puck still alive and cleared out. It deflected into the bench. Great job by the tunnel vision defense.
Yeah, that was some close calls right there for Mayhems. Nearly had one right there as they were threatening. And Bennu, you know, he made a couple decent saves, but a lot of that, he was kind of scrambling in the crease trying to track that puck, which was bouncing all over the place.
Dempinen up to Arska, poked away by Lehtinen. Mayhem still in control. Full pressure is done. Dempinen across, just out of the reach of Pro Filipaki. 20 seconds left on this power play. Arska feathers it to the corner. Dempinen stepping in, one-timer blocked. Slap shot attempt as well as we get back to 5-on-5. One-timer from Arska. Mayhem's trying some different looks. Tunnel vision able to survive, and here we go on the attack. The shot rebound, good saves by Viltsup, denying both wingers. Good step up there by Lehtinen, well done. Patience here from Arska. Turns it over though. Lehtinen couldn't hold it. Pro Filipaki for Boleslav. He won't have the pace to win it outright. Gets knocked down. Mayhems. One-timer just wide. Good look. That D-to-D 1T instead of looking for the wingers. Caught tunnel vision off guard. Dempinen shot again. Deflects just wide. Boleslav tried that shorthanded shot. 5 minutes left here in the second period. Kriketsi's shot. Good save. Another turnover. Lehtinen has it knocked away. Another chance in front. I'm shocked he didn't shoot it on his own. Here's Nati. For Mayhems, he's bumped off the puck. A wild pace in this 20-minute stretch. Lehtinen for Vatu, poked away. Last moment. Boleslav run over. Vatu all the way to Wenger at the point. Slap shot, glove save, and covered by Viltsup.
Oh, man, this has been a hectic second period right here. But yeah, I mean, tunnel vision at times that when I think they're going to shoot, they actually make that one more pass. And sometimes it works and oftentimes it doesn't here. So they do have full pressure.
Full pressure yet again. Haven't seen it nearly as much in the second period. Can't see the force in front. My goodness. I mean, why not? With 8 bodies in front. Almost worked out. Combo recovers the loose puck. Final 20 seconds now. Vatu, low shot. Couldn't get the rebound he wanted. Boleslav out of stamina. Couldn't get it anywhere. Lehtinen shot. Good block. And that will do it. A huge hit at the buzzer. Tunnel vision. Find that breakthrough. A 1-0 lead heading into the third period. Crunch time here for Mayhems.
Yeah, crunch time indeed, as they had a couple chances, you know, some on that power play a little bit, and then after it too, it was kind of an even back and forth affair for a while, but towards the end, tunnel vision began to kind of get more control, get back into the driver's seat as well. For Mayhems, you're fortunate that you're only down by 1. Viltsup has been phenomenal in this game. I mean, he's got 20 saves through 2 periods. Tunnel vision, not really afraid to throw the puck on more. And the crazy part about it is they could have probably about 5 more shots into this one. They've opted for an extra pass here and there at times, trying to just get by Viltsup. And perhaps with his performance, he's been, you know, a little bit in their heads here. He's been great. And Tunnel Vision only have that 1 goal to show for it. Bennu's been great on the other end, of course, making all 7 saves and having to deal with a little bit of chaos there in that second period. So we'll see if Mayhems can summer up a little bit more chaos out of their arsenal and try to put one by Bennu.
Third period underway. 3 big points for a regulation win up for grabs here. Tunnel Vision have already secured their playoff spot, but you know they want that number 1 seed. For Mayhems, they need these 3 points. Otherwise, that next game becomes that much more important. It's a good shot block there yet again. For as many shots as Tunnel Vision have, they could have even more if it's not for the defense. A great save there by Bennu. Haven't had to make that call too much. Vatu still in control. Great control of the puck. Gets it to Kriketsi, who tried to go back down low. It's picked off by Arska. Dempinen over the line. Finds Profilipaki, he scores! The net drive, the 5-hole finish. Mayhems have tied this game at 1.
Sometimes all it takes is one good chance right there. That was an excellent feed right there. Excellent rush play, too. You see Profilipaki passes over to Dempinen, and I love what he does there. He delays a little bit, freezes a couple of the defensemen. That allows Profilipaki to streak down through the middle, put it through 5-hole, and then get absolutely crushed by Bennu afterwards, but he'll take it. He's got a goal, and we are tied at 1.
Here we go. We continue on. It's a quick glove save there by Viltsup. Denies Lehtinen. 15:32 to go in the third period. If you're Mayhems, and we've seen it a couple of times on broadcast this season, some great goaltending performances that were not rewarded by the 5 in front of the netminder. This one might be at the top of the list in terms of those efforts. Loose puck in front, they score! Vatu has another one. Chaos in front. And Tunnel Vision take advantage. Is it going to be an own goal here, though, based off the replay?
I didn't think it would be, because Vatu was the one who came in. We'll get a better look at it right here. Excellent play. D to D one-timer. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a freeze right there and didn't get a good look at it, but it was a D to D one-timer, and then Vatu came in for the rebound. It must have hit him or something, and then bounced off a defender and in. I'm not too sure, but either way, Tunnel Vision's back up, 2-1.
Looked like maybe the defender tried to clear it. It went off of Vatu's skates. Chance here for Mayhems. Good job again by Nati to take it to the house, but good save by Bennu. Nati again stepping up. Great move here between the legs tees as well. Dempinen holds in the corner, held it too long. Has it back though, loose puck. Vatu able to recover. There's Lehtinen now for Tunnel Vision. Wanted Vatu, buffered shot. He didn't get it. As Nati gets run over by Wenger. Stepping up into the play again. Now it's Koloslav looking. Good save by Bennu. As Wenger goes off the legs of a defender. Tombo keeps it in. Lehtinen for Kriketsi down low. Still has it, battling for it. Vatu in the mix as well. Mayhem survive. Nati continuing to step up into the play. Down low, in front for Arska. Big save. Profilipaki down low. Good movement here. Kick back to the point. Tempted on angle. One-timer. They score. What a shot from Koloslav. We are tied at 2.
And that's that gold 1T at work right there. 36 goals on the season now for Koloslav. I mean, that's the Danny Heatley location where he raised his stick for a one-timer and everyone laughed at him. Well, he was just meta before anyone knew it. Koloslav gets one, and we are all tied up.
Man ahead of his time. Another huge goal for Koloslav. We are tied at 2, 8 minutes left. As Mayhems still in this game despite that incredibly one-sided start to this game. Profilipaki having trouble with Lehtinen. Dove for the puck. Interesting. Gets it back here, sends it in front. Opportunity again on the short side. But Arska was there. He gets run over by Kriketsi. Lehtinen scores! The aggression, the quick hands, the quick goal. Tunnel Vision back up by 1.
This is why a strong forecheck is so necessary in this game. Look at what Kriketsi does. Bowls over the defenseman who was the last man back and the puck carrier. As you can see, his defensive partner was going up the boards right there. And if you don't get that puck away, your team is in trouble. Kriketsi lays him out. Lehtinen picks it up and beats Viltsup. Tunnel Vision regain the lead.
Heartbreak for Mayhems. Less than 6 minutes to work here. Tempin unable to hold on to it. Kriketsi up for Vatu. A follow-up pass, but again, that forecheck giving Mayhems trouble. Tempinen finds Koloslav. It's knocked loose again. Kriketsi holds up. Vatu down low, feathers one in front. Viltsup's able to find and cover. He plays it out. Risky play there, but gets some space down the other way. A big miss by Tombo, and a puck goes flying down. Back into the Mayhem zone.
That's so unfortunate for Mayhems, making Tumbo miss right there, and they just can't quite hold the zone. He was well out of position. They would have had a good chance, outnumbered down low, but unfortunately that pass just went awry right here, and they're in trouble now. Time's ticking away. There's no last-minute real time anymore, just 30 seconds.
See if Mayhems run out of time. Tunnel Vision looking for the goal to seal this game. He takes it away for Tempinen. Koloslav over the line, carries to the corner. Arska stepping in, and pass went all the way through the blue paint. Space now for Kriketsi and Tunnel Vision. Big save. Denying Vatu the hat trick. 25 seconds to go. Viltsup heading to the bench. Nati into space. Back to the forehand. Draws a trip as well. Clock is ticking. Power play here. It'll be 6-on-4 for 15 seconds as Mayhems try to tie this game.
At least we hope. We have seen in the past some people reluctant to pull the goaltender. I think you got to go all in here. 6-on-4 for sure. Leitinen sitting for 2. Once again, with a trip, a little bit careless with the stick here. Mayhems have to win this faceoff, and indeed, they're going to keep Viltsup pulled.
Here we go. Biggest face-off of the season for Mayhems. High up. They have possession. Nati for Arska. Tried to go back to Nati. Pass off the mark. 8 seconds. Get the puck to Tempin and Arska. One-timer for Koloslav. Blocked by Tombo. And cleared. Tunnel Vision will get the 3 points for a regulation win in a much closer game than they may have expected.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. They completely dominated, but it was so much harder for them than you could argue it should have been, but Mayhems kept hanging around. Koloslav had a big goal. Profilipaki had a big goal. They just couldn't find that last one. You know, and that's a bit unfortunate for Mayhems, too, because now there's so much pressure on you for this next game. And, well, the good news is that you can't have much worse of a first period as you had in this one. Unless, of course, you give up a goal somehow. I still can't figure out how Tunnel Vision didn't score in that first. And this has got to still feel like a missed opportunity for Mayhems, because despite how good Tunnel Vision was, Mayhem still had a chance in this one. They just came up short.
You have a look at the numbers there. An .890 save percentage for Viltsup despite the loss, which is, again, just I mean, a top-notch performance, to say the least. As we'll get a look here at some of the goals. The story now, though, for Mayhems, 1 point back of the Blackjacks. As again, with 1 game to go, all the pressure right now on Mayhems. They may have, in fact, just missed out. We will see how things play out here, but Sin, to keep that a close game, I mean, a tremendous job in that regard. As we can look at the one-timer here, the referee very much involved, of course. Just a tremendous one-timer from that angle.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and that was one where Benna kind of got caught a little bit. I didn't realize he was caught a little bit out of position, but it's so hard to adjust to that, because that's, I mean, not necessarily a location that you're expecting a shot from all the time. We have seen it more here in NHL 24 than we've seen at any other point, but still, it just doesn't feel natural as a goaltender to be looking at a guy way over there on the corner boards and thinking that a one-timer could be coming from there.
So, of course, it sets the stage now. We still do not know what will happen with that matchup between Strikers and Blackjacks. The Strikers currently in their regular season matchup against Hamos. So, Still a lot to be decided for Mayhems. You don't know your destiny yet. All you can do is focus on that next game. It'll be their final game of the season. Well, for both clubs, in fact, and we'll have that for you here in just a few moments. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Indeed, we have no audio coming through the stream. Hey, there we go. Hi, everybody. We're back. It is the first period between Mayhems and Tunnel Vision. As, you know, it's a shame you missed the best bit of commentary that Sin and I have ever put out there. It'll forever be known as the lost 7 minutes that we have had. To recap those 7 minutes, at least of game time, we mentioned, well, the obvious. For Mayhems, they need a win. They need it badly, preferably in regulation, and preferably can start that road to said victory with a power play goal here as Sin Lightning will head to the box yet again.
Yeah, he's been in quite a bit of penalty trouble here today. This is going to be his third minor, as you can see he just bumped a guy in front right there, and he'll be sitting for 2. So this is huge, huge, huge for Mayhem. Starts with the face-off. Pro Filipaki has to win this. They got to set up quick and look for those 1Ts, but good face-off win for Kriketsi.
There by Tombo, able to hit Vatu in stride. Kriketsi with them. A shot stopped by Viltup. Arska in control here. Over to Nati. Deflection bid. Knocked down. Wenger unable to clear the zone. Stepping up, wanted Kolaslav, but they are all over that. They let him get open once. Can you even define it as being open? It was a no man's land when he scored last game. Dempinen gets it down low, 24 seconds left. On this man advantage, Arska's shot. That one doesn't go, and Wenger able to clear it down. That will do it. Not much going on for Mayhems on that power play.
No, not a whole lot, and passed up a couple different shooting opportunities and passed it to Koloslav when he was well covered. I mean, Tombo was directly in front of him. Hard to see a pass getting through.
Leitinen for Vatu. Back to Leitinen, and a tremendous save for Viltsup. Remember that one, should they get a win here.
That's absolutely huge because Leitinen, in between games, switched to a sniper build with gold 1T, so that glove save, even more massive with that in mind.
Tombo not able to keep that one in, but does regain the zone. Leitinen for Wenger. Which goal, very important in a game like this. Again, tunnel vision. Trying to continue their trend towards the top of the standing. Short side shot for Kriketzi, blocked down. Tombo on the forehand. Full pressure here. Kriketzi for Vatu. Being held to the perimeter. Tombo quickly back to Vatu. Down low. Kriketzi tried the short side. Puck is cleared. 4.5 to go in the first. Here's Leitinen. For Kriketzi, good opportunity. Koloslav down the other way for Mayhems. Drops back, Arska, the 1T for Nati off the mark. It's gonna leave Kriketzi open on the breakaway. He scores! A disastrous break for Mayhems. Tunnel vision strike first as Kriketzi finds the back of the net to make it 30 on the season as we get another look, and with that much space, no mistake to be made.
No, and yeah, it's just unfortunate right there as he had Nati wide open who looked like he didn't quite square up and swing it, and it kind of went through him right there. It took a big bounce off of the boards. Kriketzi was just all alone and hard to make a mistake with that much time, and he beats Viltsup. Tunnel vision up 1-0.
Couple of chances there. Pro Arska keeping this one alive. Should Mayhems lose this game in regulation, that'll be it for their season. Of course, they'll finish in one of our safety spots and be back for our spring campaign, but no playoffs. Face off here, 1:38 to go in the period. Dempinen in control. Arska bumped off the puck. Final minute in a rush here. Leitinen gets run over. Arska for Pro Filipaki. He's bumped by Tombo. Final moments. Leitinen to the forehand. Stepping in. Leitinen just missed the nets. And that will do it for the first period. Tunnel vision do strike first. Have the lead after 20.
Yeah, not as dominant as a first period, I should say, as they had in that first game, but they get the goal this time around off a great bounce off of the boards after the pass was missed to Nati. And yeah, if you're Mayhems, that's just not what you wanted to see. You had a better period. You were getting some chances here and there. You had the power play look. There's a couple times where I think, yeah, Pro Arska, especially on that last attempted zone entry, passed it back to Pro Filipaki in the middle. The problem was he was surrounded by about 3 guys, and Pro Arska would have had some space on the boards. I would like to see him get a bit more active jumping into the plays than he has been so far right here. I think, that's going to do Mayhems a world of wonders to have different options on the break in there, be able to start establishing a little bit more zone time.
We get ready for the second period. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. Again, this is the regular season finale on broadcast here. Leitinen going back to the box. It's been a tough night for him. And Mayhems will go to the power play.
Yeah, he's just been a bit careless with the stick, especially. That's his 3rd tripping penalty. I believe he had 1 already for interference. And yeah, right there, you saw him just holding out that defensive skill stick right there. Not advised at all times, especially if you're using that sniper build. The stick checking is not going to be as good as it is with that puck mover.
As Wenger stepping up, poked away. Again, this is just our first matchup of two a little bit later on. hREDS and Jyväskylä. Heavyweight tilt in that one. It can very much affect the seeding of the top four. Here's Tempinen, has it poked away. Power plays half over. Tombo turns it over. Pofulapaki hit the post. And this time, Tombo able to clear.
I'm actually not too sure if he did hit the post. It looked like Benna got a big chunk of that. Maybe it did clip it afterwards, but that was just a really good save, I think, out of Benna there as they try to feed it in front again.
Opti back to the forehand. Shot. Good save by Benna once more. We're back to 5-on-5. Koloslav shot. Looked like it was sneaking in. And I think Wenger helped out his goaltender quite a bit there, who's finally able to cover.
He got the puck pickup and he didn't panic with it. He didn't actually move right there. Probably a little bit terrified he would own goal it being in so tight.
Ketzi wins the draw. The follow-up pass off the mark. They'll do it one more time. That one goes down for icing.
Yeah, it's good to see Mayhems getting a few chances here and just being able to hold that O-zone for a little bit longer. Actually, an aggressive set here.
In on that full pressure, 1 bar to go. Nati ran into his own defenseman, gets bumped out of the zone. Tempinen not able to get the pass over. Here's Kirketsi for tunnel vision. Maintains possession. Pass there, nobody home. Wins it back though, Leitinen can't get it through. Does recover. Over to Tombo. Bring into the corner, back to the point. Leitinen for Wenger. Good movement here for tunnel vision. Full pressure. Leitinen again. Back to the point. Leitinen, the 1T, blocked by the defender. Kirketsi for Vatu. He scores. All of that pressure being held to the perimeter until they weren't. What a great pass to find Vatu, and tunnel vision double up their lead.
Yeah, this is exactly why, that good cycle game is important, especially on the perimeter right there, Maybe that pass got through when some people didn't think it would, but it was such a good job of just maintaining it and cycling it on the outside, which opened up that bit of space to feed it through the middle.
We continue on. It goes from bad to worse for Mayhems, and Leitinen nearly added to that. A big glove save there by Viltsup.
Yeah, Viltsup's been sharp. He's had to be. He's facing all kinds of pressure. And in this one, too, Mayhems had an okay first period. They didn't, get the upper hand. Tunnel Vision still was the better team, but now it just feels like Tunnel Vision's beginning to take over. That's a good face-off win.
D for Koloslav. Tempinen scores! A big goal there. End-to-end. Mayhems on the board. Their season's not over yet.
Absolutely not. They are able to cut the deficit here, as we can actually see in chat a few of the Blackjacks players hoping for that Tunnel Vision win. That would solidify them that 8th seed for the time being. But that's an excellent play. Starts with the face-off. Tie-up play where Nati jumps up and begins to get into the play that leads to the 3-on-2. Excellent bit of passing right there. They're able to tuck it home.
See how Tunnel Vision responds. They're in the attacking zone. Wenger tries to go far side. Halfway through the period, halfway through the game. Mayhems need this victory to have a shot. Again, the Blackjacks have their final 2 games of the season coming up against Strikers. Tough matchup for them as well. Still have that top 4 very much undecided as well between hREDS, Strikers, Tunnel Vision, and Jyväskylä, who entered play today. The number 1 seed as Viltsup makes another save.
And for Mayhems here, the 1 goal is nice coming off a bit of a rush play, and that's all well and good, but you got to feel like they got to start getting this puck out of the zone, start establishing themselves. The more chances you give Tunnel Vision, gets the deadlier they get, and Kriketsi has been fantastic on the draws here, and Wenger unfortunately puts himself offside. That will bring the face-off out of the zone here, but again, for Mayhems, you got to start finding ways to create your own zone time to keep tunnel vision away from your end.
Jumping in for Koloslav. Defense collapses on him, but he wins it back. Tries the short side. Got a lot of the post there. Couldn't jam it home. Latu steps in. Good shot. Vilts up there to make another save. Some extracurriculars at the end. And the big face-off coming up here. 7:09 remaining on the clock in the second period. Arska coming up with it for Mayhems. Has it again, the spin pass, nobody home. And Mayhems entered play today 1 point back of the Blackjacks for 8th seed. Should they fail to secure at least a point here, their season is definitely over. Again, I will fully admit to know what the tiebreaker scenarios are, but I'm not sure who they favor at this point in time.
I want to say it's Blackjacks because of the goal differential. I guess I got a quick look of it when the last time we saw the standings, at least I think.
Right, of course, you know, you still got 2 games to go for the Blackjacks. Who knows if it'd be devastating enough to put them into that bad of a situation. I don't know if it would be. So certainly for Mayhems, a win is needed, but they're back down by 2. An opportunistic goal there. And Tunnel Vision may have just put the dagger into the hearts of this Mayhem squad.
Yeah, again, starts from the outside, and they're just trying to work towards the middle there. Little give-and-go play down the boards and then back up. You see Tombo, he doesn't get the pass away, but it acts the same thing. He gets it knocked off. It goes straight to Vatu, who puts it through the 5-hole. And a 2-goal lead. There still is a period to play, but Mayhem's got to get something going.
This is it. This is their season on the line over the next 21 minutes. Not only do they have to prevent another goal from Tunnel Vision, but they need at least 2. Tempinen, 2-on-1 here for Mayhems. Tempinen! Hark still loose, and Bennu is able to cover. Close, but not close enough for Mayhems.
That is a huge save by Bennu, though. I mean, he has just been fantastic in this Tunnel Vision lineup. And in a breakaway situation, Tempinen bearing down on him. He stands tall, gets the save. Not the cleanest of ever, but he's able to keep it out and then get the cover.
Final few seconds here. Tempinen, Koloslav stepped into one, but missed the nets. Tunnel Vision, a 3-1 lead at the end of the second period.
And it's now gut check time for Mayhems here. They are in a lot of trouble. You know, it hasn't been as dominant as the last game, but still they are being outplayed here, and they're down by 2 heading into here. Not only do they need to score at least 2, but probably 3. They want that regulation win to really give themselves the best chances, but they've got to stop Tunnel Visions from scoring, and they just haven't been able to do that. Viltsup has stood on his head in the last game, really. Even though they lost, he was phenomenal for that squad. And, you know, not as good in this game. He still, you know, had to make some good saves. He's just, the chances from Tunnel Vision just keep coming, and it's just hard for him to be able to stop everything here. Mayhem's got to kind of come together as a defensive unit. I know it's tough against a good team like Tunnel Vision, but they got to find something here. They have to shut the door, and they've got to find some offense.
Here we go. Third period. Mayhem's season on the line. Tunnel Vision looking to again push for that number 1 seed. Opportunity for Wenger doesn't go. Here's Tempinen out of gas already early in the period. Koloslav as well. He gets bumped to the ice by Wenger, maybe a little bit more than the bump. Vision back in control. Finger for Kirketsi, it's knocked away. Tombo will send that one into the attacking zone. Kirketsi! Dangerous there. Passed it towards goal. Viltzup able to find it and freeze it.
Yeah, this is one of those dangerous ones where that has a very good chance to bounce in from back there. As we know, the goaltenders don't, hug post or anything like that. So if it hits off that skate, it could easily bounce into the back of the net.
Time face off here. Batu over the line. Kirketsi finds Leitinen. Defense able to break it up. Mayhems need a goal here, and they need it quickly. Here's Koloslav back to the forehand. Low shot. Knocked away. Koloslav with space. Big save by Bennu. Full pressure, though, for Mayhems. And a bad pass there. No other way to put it. That'll alleviate the pressure. Big stop, though, by Bennu moments ago. Here's Tempinen. Draws the call. And this is it. This is the chance for Mayhems. A penalty here against Tombo.
Yeah, this time the captain going to the box right there gets called for the trip as Tempinen was going to have him kind of beat to the outside. Looked actually as he's going for a shot right there. I don't mind that mentality. Did have a possible backdoor option, but you have to score here. And it starts, Proplopaki has to win this draw.
Face off. Vatu in control off the tie-up, and he'll send it all the way down. Mayhems need to get established back in the attacking zone quickly. Tempinen breaks through, draws a trip yet again. 5-on-3 with 1:19 left to work with, and it's Kirketsi, the centerman, to the box.
Well, this is the opportunity. This is everything you could ask for if you're on the Mayhems roster. You have a two-man advantage, plenty of time to get a goal, and strike again with the man advantage here. No excuses at this point. This is your opportunity.
You get the clean win. Nati for Arska. Nati again. Trouble, loose puck, foot race. Nati has it one more time. Tempinen has it poked away. Has to go back to the point. Fake shot. Arska shot. Save there. May have hit off the man in front. Puck is cleared. 15 to go in the 5-on-3. Here comes Koloslav. Arska wanted to go back to him. Leitinen sends it down. A good job by Viltzup to play that puck. Tombo would have won that race. 15 seconds to go. Nati for Koloslav in front, nearly dragged through. We are back to 5-on-5. Anger, low shot, rebound just out of the reach of Kirketsi. 10 minutes left. Tempinen, the spin, loose puck, Koloslav still fighting for it. Kirketsi for Vatu, 2-on-1. Leitinen has it poked away. Nati trying to save the season. Mayhems running out of time. 8 minutes left in this one. They are a point out of the playoff structure at the moment. Kirketsi with space, wanted the rebound, but it was a little bit high, and Viltzup was able to glove it.
I can kind of feel the pressure getting to Mayhems right here. They're just making ill-advised passes. That's the second one from Proarska in this period where it's just he has another better option and he makes the one into traffic, and it's just not the right one. And there again, he gets decked before he can move the puck.
Leitinen not able to get it through. Tombo's shot wide. Koloslav, one of the league's top scorers. 6 minutes left. He could use one or two. Numbers here off the pad. Second chance. Builds up a great save. Denies Kirketsi. Dampen into Arska. The shot deflects wide. Arska kept it in, but right into the hands of Tombo. Vatu. Go to Kirketsi. Leitinen, a good save again by Viltzup. Leitinen one more time. It's blocked. Nati feeds it through to Tempinen. It was risky, but it worked. In the corner. Now down low. He tries to just throw it on from an odd angle. Numbers here again for Tunnel Vision. Vatu, Leitinen scores! And that will do it. Tunnel Vision will end their season with 6 points in the bag and will prevent Mayhems from making the postseason.
Yeah, Nati kind of had to do what he did at the end there. He had to get aggressive really as they were about to cross the line. You can see it right there, but he misreads it. I think Leitinen just did a better job reading that situation. He understood that Nati had to be aggressive, was going to be aggressive at the blue line, kind of sidesteps on the forehand, makes that pass through the Vatu, and at that point, it is all over, and Leitinen gets the pass back and buries it.
Nobody happier about that last goal than the Blackjacks squad, as they will be returning to the postseason. Heading into our second matchup of the broadcast, which again is Jyväskylä taking on hREDS. That'll be a matter of seeding at the top of the board, Sin, because we have our 8 playoff teams confirmed thanks to the result of this matchup and a heartbreaker for Mayhems.
Absolutely. And insult to injury.
It's been a rough night for Leitinen. Gets a goal there and we'll be able to end tonight with a bit of confidence heading into the postseason.
And we saw the physicality picking up here a lot at the end. This is such a nice play that kind of went, it's going to kind of go unnoticed because, you know, the game's pretty much over by this point, but that's just amazing from, you know, down, from up high to down low and then back into the slot. Just picture perfect passing from Tunnel Vision.
So again, with the result of this game, we know our 8 playoff teams, Mayhems, will fall short. The Blackjacks have secured their position in the postseason, and Tunnel Vision put the pressure on Jyväskylä as they will end this season with 71 points. Meaning Jyp in their final 2 games coming up are 5 points back as they take on hREDS. So maybe, just maybe, we have witnessed Tunnel Vision securing the #1 seed. Time will tell.
Yeah, and interestingly, as much as they're happy with Tunnel Vision right now, if Tunnel Vision hangs on to that 1 seed, that's going to be their opponent in the first round. So, well, it's kind of you take the good with the bad there. You're in the playoffs, but your opponent may indeed be this Tunnel Vision team who really, throughout a lot of this matchup, made Mayhems look quite inferior. You know, there's the great teams, there's the elite teams in the elite division, there's the playoff teams, good teams. You know, Mayhems just seem to be a cut below Tunnel Vision in this one.
And I mean, I need to say it, credit to Vilta. Did everything he could to give his team a chance to win today, and it wasn't the case. I mean, 5-1, you might say, oh, how good was the goalie? But again, he made some phenomenal saves in this one. And then obviously the scoreline gets run up a little bit at the end where the defense kind of has to be a little bit more aggressive. But Vilta had a great season, had a great night tonight, I thought. Certainly not someone that you're looking at to say, oh, well, that's why they fell short. I mean, again, that Mayhems team, I think they are playoff caliber. Certainly, I think they should be, a bit disappointed that they weren't able to make the playoffs. You know, with the individual skill that they have, it's just one of those things. They weren't able to put it together consistently enough, and I'm pretty surprised by that.
I am too. It's not, they had a fantastic goal scorer in Koloslav, who I believe is going to end the season with 37. Was he the goal scorer in this one? I'm actually not too sure, but he'll at least have 36 goals. I mean, that's a phenomenal season for Koloslav, and Tempinen on the other side. Obviously, we know he's an incredible player in the 1v1 thing, but we know the individual skill can translate into 6v6. He's looked good. Nati was great on the point as well, and Vilts up in goal. It had all the makings of a playoff team. It just seems like that team defense, they couldn't quite put it together for the entirety of the season, and that really kind of led to their downfall.
So here you see it now, the updated standings. Again, Tunnel Vision 5 points ahead of Jyp at the top of the standings. Jyväskylä will be playing hREDS in a few moments here. But aside from that, those top 8 are locked in. It is secured. Shout out to Unwanted, who finished their season over a week ago, but were able to hold on to that spot. That had to be pretty stressful
Yeah.
as it went on. Of course, there's so much to talk about here. You know, the teams that are safe, shout out to Polsky Boys, our pro division champions from last season. They will be in Elite next season, not going to have to fight for their survival. And of course, the bottom 4 still very much undecided as well. But again, on the aftermath of our brief intermission, we'll be focusing at the top of the board as Jyväskylä take on hREDS, as Yip again will have their work cut out for them if they want that number 1 seed. hREDS as well, currently in 4th, still might be able to change things up a little bit. We'll see what happens. Again, that's just our first matchup done. We'll be back for that second one in just a few minutes. Stick with us.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back. A big thank you for sticking with us here at the SportsGamer as we get ready for our final matchup of the regular season. It is Jyväskylä taking on hREDS. And Sin, again, a very big matchup here in terms of seeding at the top of the table. And we'll bring it over to the standings here. Again, we still have some games being completed, but for the most part, what you're going to get a look at here, is nearly locked in. I mean, again, our top 8 teams are official for the postseason. We still have some potential movement at the bottom of the table in terms of the automatic relegation spot. Of course, right now in 16th is still Lextugan, but they have 4 games to go. But on the left-hand side are 8 playoff teams. Now it's just a matter of seeding, with the Blackjacks and Radicals still having games to go. And of course, every other team aside from Tunnel Vision in the top 4, which brings us to this matchup for Yip. Again, 5 points back. They need a big result here, but they do not have an easy opponent to play where they need to do it.
Yeah, this is huge. And, for both hREDS and Strikers, they have those 4 games in hand here. And we'll get a look at the individual matchups here, of course. And you can see these are just 2 very evenly matched teams when it comes down to it. I mean, a very similar percentage-based goal differential here. And, more goals being scored by hREDS. They have allowed a few more as well. And special teams quite comparable, but hREDS have a much better power play.
That could very much be a factor here, to say the least, as well. Again, that emphasis on scoring goals in regulation, making the most of their opportunities. With that, let's take a look at the lineups for this one. Again, a big matchup for these 2 teams as they jockey for seeding in the playoffs. For Yip, it is Tunkelia, Jamal the Man, and their captain, Indy, Landstrom, and Carcass on defense. Kazu between the pipes. They're starting 6 basically all season long. And of course, on the other side, well, for hREDS, it's what you would expect to see as well. Villapoika, Benito, and Nicky Dangles on that right wing side. Domi, Temu on defense. Vincere in goal. And we will kick it off with the centers as we always do. Tall task for Jamal to stick with Benito, who has been as dynamic as ever. But to Jamal's credit, he has had a phenomenal season as the main center for Jyväskylä.
He really has, and this Jyväskylä team really kind of came out of, I'm not going to say they came out of nowhere, but I don't think anyone really had them pinned to be this high up the standings, especially considering that, a lot of the individuals that don't have the same sort of name value as the guys on like hREDS or Strikers or Tunnel Vision have, but clearly they're playing phenomenally as a team here, and that's what has led to their success more than anything throughout the course of this season. So we're going to have to see how they do against this team of hREDS who are led by Benito, who is just, those are ridiculous numbers.
He's a ridiculous player.
Yeah.
That's the best way to sum it up. He is certainly one of the best that this scene has to offer. On the winger side of things, let's get a look at these 4 again. For Yip, it is Tunkelia and Indy squaring off against Villapoika and Nicky Dangles. And again, what a boost it has been for this hREDS lineup to get Nicky Dangles back from the mandatory military service that took him out for the majority of this season. And he certainly hasn't missed a step, to say the least. Over 3 points a game currently with 19 points in 6 games played. Dynamic comes to mind, really, though, for all 4 of these players.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Indy's, I've really been liking his game throughout the course of this season. He's always kind of been one of those sneaky good players. And now, seemingly with a team that is gelling, you're really kind of starting to see it with those 2 points per game mark. But yeah, I mean, he and Dunkeli having to contend with Filipoika and Nikki Dangles, who, as you said, over 3 points per game. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good pace that he's on.
Is it sustainable? If you're Jyp Jyväskylä, you better hope not heading into this matchup. The defensive comparison here next, as again, we have Landstrom and Karkas against Domi and Teemu. And Sin, what more can you say here? I mean, all four of these guys solid defensively, can put up points. They're all physical. I mean, what a head-to-head this is. This is incredible. Just incredible numbers, and I'm very excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, breakout player of the year for me has to be Landstrom. I mean, he has just been absolutely unreal. 48 points in 28 games played. Again, one of those names that we didn't hear a whole heck of a lot of, didn't necessarily expect him to be doing what he's doing, but I'm sure he and his squad are extraordinarily happy. And this is the markings of one of those good teams. You have both your defensemen playing good on all sides of the puck, and both of them around that point per game mark. However, they are contending with Domi and Teemu, who, I think are two of the best two-way defensemen in the elite division, if not the best. And I mean, almost identical numbers, really. They have the same amount of points, and yeah, why not?
And of course, our final head-to-head here that we have is the battle of the goaltenders. Kazu and Finsere each have played every single game that their club has participated in this season. And you talk about breakout players and guys that had some expectations on them heading into this season for taking that next step forward. Kazu might have been at the top of that list, and he has succeeded those expectations. Vincere on the other side, very solid numbers, and I think you can tell by the goals against average. It's someone who isn't facing really a ton of shots would be your thought based on those numbers, and probably what he is facing, high quality stuff. So decent numbers there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You see that a lot from the top teams, especially historically from this hREDS squad, who are just such a stalwart line of bodies on their defensive blue line. But yeah, Kazu, just what an unreal season for him. 7 shutouts to his credit as well. He's gonna have to be playing on his A game against this very, very talented front three. Really the whole team, but especially the front three of hREDS.
So again, we are just a few moments away from puck drop in this matchup as these two teams jockey for position in the top 4. Again, postseason action begins in the new year. We'll have our holiday break, of course, before continuing on here. But Sin, it's crazy to think. Again, we say it every time, but already the 5th week of action, already winding down this regular season. But it's really, just the start. The fun really does begin once the playoffs kick off in a short amount of time after today.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. We'll be able to cover probably more of the playoffs than we ever have covered before as well. Obviously taking slightly less emphasis on the regular season, but, the playoffs are, as you said, where it truly begins in a lot of ways for a lot of these teams. That's where the narratives develop. That's where the storylines take place. And that's where champions are crowned here. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of storyline we're going to have. Are Tunnel Vision going to be able to continue their dominance that they carried over from NHL 23, or will it be hREDS trying to reclaim their dynasty, or Strikers, who haven't now at this point won a championship in multiple NHL iterations, multiple NHL games. So they're hungry to get back into it, and yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see. I can't wait for the playoffs to begin.
There's stories up and down. Of course, you have the Blackjacks securing just their second postseason appearance without even having to step onto the ice so far tonight, thanks to their new best friends in Tunnel Vision, who may be their biggest enemies after the games are done today. As you mentioned, those two teams could very well be squaring off in postseason action. And then you look throughout the standings as well. Like we said, towards the bottom half, we still don't know who will finish in what spot in the bottom 4. And then we talk about the relegation matchups that you can end up seeing, and of course the talented pro division teams that are always a threat to break through. There's still so much to play out here. So just because the regular season's over does not mean that we don't have a lot to follow moving forward, to say the least. But for now, you get a look there Sin, no real surprises in terms of builds.
Nope. Yes, I mean, maybe slightly surprising that hREDS aren't going, with a gold 1T in there, but I mean, they're just such a talented team moving the puck around in the offensive zone. They're going to be rolling with what they're probably most comfortable with.
Of course, a reminder of what these teams are playing for. The Final Four in the postseason is ultimately the goal. Get to the playoffs, win a round, you're in the money, and who knows how much from there if you're able to make that further push. So again, a lot to play for here, especially for these two teams, as again, they continue to jockey for seeding at the top of the standings. And of course, it's oh so important. We've seen it many times. You want that top seed. You want what is in theory the easier route to the championship round, because we've seen so many times, and you get that 2 versus 3 seed, and you have a championship caliber team that will not make it to the finals, and that comes down to how they did in the regular season. Here we go. We'll see what JYP Jyväskylä are able to do. And in their road whites, Landstrom able to gain the zone. Finds Tonkelia, now Jamal, good movement here. Still being held to the perimeter. Tonkelia deflected off the post. Out of nowhere, a great chance there for Jamal, the man, on the deflection.
Yeah, I love that play right there. Landstrom fed Tonkelia there, who did have body position, wasn't able to get it cleanly at first, got an off-balance shot on, but the deflection made that extraordinarily dangerous.
A big sauce pass finds its way to Benito, nearly toe dragged through. It's a good shot there from the odd angle, and I've seen that from teams like hREDS a lot over the years. Arcus finds Indy up ahead, not able to find the follow-up pass. Good aggression. Arcus, a shot, they score! Out of nowhere, JYP Jyväskylä just getting shots towards goal and making things happen. It's Indy on the deflection, and JYP strike first.
Love to see that mentality, though, coming out from Jyväskylä. I mean, that's just exactly kind of what you want to do against a strong squad, especially on the defensive side in hREDS. You see them have struggled to penetrate the middle right there, but Indy does such a good job on the forecheck, and I love the decision-making from Karkis right there. He just picks it up and wastes no time ripping it on in the forehand before hREDS can clog up those shooting lanes, and Indy deflects it home.
So a big opening goal there. Indy's 27th of the season. Into a tie with Tonkelia for the team lead in goals. A big goal for JYP. This puck will go all the way down again. JYP Jyväskylä needing 5 points to get into a tiebreaker scenario with tunnel vision, but if they pull off 2 regulation wins, they will be the #1 seed. Big face off here. The teams continue to battle for control in the early stages. They move over the line. Benito there as well, taken away by JYP. What they can do here on this attempted break-in. Indy, the one-timer, that one off the legs of a defender. Dangle's bumped off, still fighting for it. Good job there by Jamal on the back check. Again, played defense last season, jumps up to center with the departure of Antti, fouling coal miners. And Tonkelia takes this one away. Indy over the blue line. Has options, goes down low to Tonkelia. Good hip check there. All dishes back to the point. Landstrom shot. A little bit of friendly fire. Domi now for hREDS. Lipoika tries the short side. Kazu did well, didn't cheat. Makes the save.
Yeah, solid save coming out from Kazu right there. But I've been very impressed from Jyväskylä's play so far. I mean, they've gotten some decent amount of zone time. They're defending quite well. They haven't given hREDS any crazy high quality looks just yet, and I don't know, we'll have to see on this follow-up possession what hREDS are able to do in the offensive zone if they win that draw.
6:40 to go in the period. Puck battled for low. We're able to come up with it. Lundstrom looking to break through and does. Back to Tunkelia. Arcus along the half wall as well. Space for Indy. Jamal in front. A good shot there. Stopped by Finzere. Another offside call here.
And so maybe a bit surprisingly, hREDS having some trouble gaining the zone cleanly. That's usually what we're saying about their opponents here, but Jyväskylä is doing such a good job early on here of slowing them down, particularly through the neutral zone.
One poked away. Carcass will bring it all the way back to the JYP zone. All again on the back check, able to take it away. Elia will send it around. Indy will win that foot race. Immediately pressured. Dangles just swarmed as he got that puck. Lundstrom for Tunkelia. Tried to find Indy. He was out of gas. Couldn't get that separation. Nowhere for hREDS to go as they tried to cross the line. Final moments here of the first period. Dump and attempt. Lundstrom's there to take it away. Gets it to Jamal. 3 seconds to work with here. Jamal to the forehand. Can't get the shot through. And that will do it for the first period. Jyväskylä, the opening goal and a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and they've looked great. You know, it definitely doesn't have kind of, maybe some of the excitement level as the last series did, but that was when, Tunnel Vision was dominating a lot in the end. We haven't seen either one of them be able to do that because they're just so evenly matched. We're seeing the neutral zone be a very large battleground, but gotta say, I feel like the majority, at least the slight majority of chances went to Jyväskylä, and yeah, I mean, they had the much better of the time on attack. Only 2 shots. A bit surprising. It felt like they may have had a few more, but a lot of blocks were being had, and they do have that one opening goal here. So, surprised to say the least that it's hREDS on the receiving end of these types of numbers.
Not something that we see all that often. See what kind of adjustments are made here heading into the second period. The opening face-off here. Always the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakati. Again, it is the first matchup of 2 between Jyväskylä and hREDS as we wind down the regular season for ECL 24 Winter Edition. Marcus for Jamal. Tried to go back down low to Indy, the lone goal scorer of this game so far. Only able to find Nicky Dangles. Back to Domi, takes the hit. hREDS have had a rough time trying to break down that blue line trap. And the physicality of JYP that's worked out. Didn't work out there, though. Teemu, net drive from Nicky Dangles, and Kazu does a good job to cover that puck.
Yeah, pass didn't quite connect, but it always is a bit scary there when there's a scramble with pucks and bodies right there. But you said it, Kazu just kind of holds his ground and is able to scoop that puck up.
Fight for the puck here that JYP will come up with. This one's going to go back down the other way. What hREDS can do on this breakout, yet to get a ton of offensive momentum. Nito sends it into open space. Teemu down to the corner, now back to the point again. Domi, and not much space to work with here for hREDS, being pushed to the outside and immediately pressured. Domi caught. Nito in front, they score! Very similar to the JYP goal in the first period. Not much going on until just a little bit of space was found, and they made the most of it.
Yeah, and it was just really great job up on the point by Domi in particular. You can see it's a very tight point being played by the wingers of Jyväskylä, but, you know, they're able to... The hREDS is just able to kind of stay alive right there and finally find a little bit of open space in the middle of the ice, and Vilipoika is not going to miss from there.
Vilipoika secures goal number 34. This season might not be done. Will it be 35? The big spin. Landstrom was able to stick with him. And draws a call as well. So hREDS go from thinking they might have a goal to it being a cross-checking penalty against Vilipoika. It'll be Jyväskylä the power play.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge opportunity for them to potentially capitalize on the man advantage here as the goal scorer becomes the man in the box. And actually, I thought it was initially going to be a trip from that second. I think that was a desperation dive right there, but it is the cross check, and we'll get to see the Jyväskylä power play go to work.
hREDS able to win the draw. Nicky Dangles lofts one out to the red line. Jamal played over to that corner, gets it back. Landstrom, great one-touch pass to Jamal. Tried to find Indy, who does get the shot off. And Sarah able to make that save.
Landstrom's just such a smart player. You know, in that situation, a lot of players would sort of panic and maybe just like rip that one on, but he makes a one-touch pass and allows it to keep alive for another look for Indy down low.
Quick movement here, nearly full pressure. Kelly to Landstrom, there it is. Small shot, good stop by Finsere. Tunkelia recovers. Quick movement still. Landstrom, the short side 1T for Indy, who draws a call as well.
That was a shot off of the bar for Indy right there. He hit off the, I believe, the corner of the crossbar right there. And then he draws another one here. That's going to be Domi going to the box, who has historically had some problems with the stick infractions. He gets one right there. So we're going to have a bit of 5-on-3 time, still with full pressure. There's about half of it remaining here. Not a ton of time on the 5-on-3, though.
Landstrom in space. Wanted Tunkelia. Buffered shot. Finsere able to cover there as hREDS get Vilipoika out of the box.
Yeah, so quite a short-lived 5-on-3 right there, but still have the man advantage.
7 seconds left with full pressure. Face off one. Base for Indy goes back to Jamal. Tunkelia can't get the shot through. Penalty called. Interference. Vilipoika. Not mistaken. No, not Vilipoika. Straight back to the box.
Yeah, it is. It's Vilipoika.
Yeah, it is. It is on that one. I could have sworn I saw a different name for him a few minutes ago. But it's okay. He does get the hit there, the interference, and Sin, huge chance here for you.
Yeah, yet another 5-on-3. This one has a whole heck of a lot more time on it, though.
Jamal. Control here. Carcass for Tunkelia. Landstrom couldn't get the shot through. Benito unable to clear. Carcass for Jamal. It's poked away. Still 40 seconds left of 5-on-3. The shot. Good save. Jamal put it back towards goal. Nicky Dangles unable to clear. Great keep by Landstrom. Tunkelia, the one-timer, is denied. Full pressure here. Nearly back to 5-on-4. Indy's one-timer blocked by Nicky Dangles. And Benito able to send it down. As Domi won that foot race to the puck, was unable to hold on. Jamal, great poke check there to send you back to the neutral zone. And another. Vilipoika tries to win the foot race. Great job by hREDS, though, on the penalty kill.
That's a huge, huge kill for them, and they're going to need to get that stamina back. You saw Domi coasting. He wasn't trying to draw out the icing, just get that stamina back to near full.
Nicky Dangles back to the point. They move for Benito nearly. Able to drag that one through. Domi, the shot. It's picked off. Benito now. Into the corner. Head for Jamal. Now Landstrom has bumped. That'll lead to an offside.
Man, this is such a tight game right here. And I don't know, if you're Jyväskylä, you might be kind of kicking yourselves if you're at the end of this game, if you don't come away with the W, because you had so much opportunity there on that power play to capitalize, and you failed to do so here. And hREDS is one of those teams that once they start going, they're hard to stop.
Domi in control here. 2 minutes left in the period. Down low, Benito able to find Nicky Dangles. Wanted to cut back short side. Jamal was there. Now Indy as we hit the final minute. Dangles to take it away after a bobbled puck. Domi to Benito. Wanted to go back to Villapoika. Maybe one pass too many. Landstrom for Jamal. 6 seconds. Landstrom in front. It's out to the corner. Villapoika turns it over, forcing a big save from Vincere at the buzzer. We have a tie hockey game heading into the third period.
Wow, just, you know, kind of scoreboard kind of mirroring just how this game's been ultra tight right there. That was a dangerous turnover at the end right there from Villapoika as Karkas stepped into it and nearly was able to put that one home on the short side. But as you said, Vincere had to make a massive save right there. So I'm curious to get a look at the numbers. I'm sure we'll see Jyväskylä with more time on attack, but surprisingly, hREDS caught up quite a bit there, even with all that special teams time.
Again, the numbers there painting an interesting picture, but with these two teams, you never quite know, I think, what you might get period to period. I mean, it's been a pretty close game so far from a defensive standpoint. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 6 goals scored this upcoming period just based off of their track records.
Yeah, who knows right here? I mean, the third period could be absolutely wild, but you know, one thing's true. Both these teams really want to get the full 3 points, so I don't think we're going to see any playing for overtime right here. I want to see who's willing to take some chances here and open up the game.
Benito unable to hold on to it. Domi keeps it in. Villapoika was there as well. Emu back for Benito, has a little bit of space to work with. Cuts in, good shot, better save by Kazu. And he'll cover.
Yeah, it was just really good job by Benito there. Kind of did a stop and go, but instead of going, he just decided to rip that shot on instead, and it bounced kind of precariously, but Kazu did a great job tracking that puck. It landed right in front of his pads.
Arcus able to recover here. It's Jamal down the other way. Landstrom at the point, back to the forehand, intercepted by Villapoika. Send it around. Nicky Dangles is there. Kicks back to the point. B2D pass. Domi the shot. Good save again by Kazu. Flexion bid there. Landstrom wanted to go up the boards. It's timed. Poke check. Again, you just sense it between these two teams at any moment. That goal could be there, but for now, they also shift right back into that neutral zone trap battle. Indy for Karkas at the point. Patience here. Finds Jamal. Indy can't get the shot off. Turned over, though. Rough pass. Nicky Dangles with an equally rough pass sends Jyväskylä down the other way. Landstrom, the feed in front. Jamal's there. The backhand kicked out. Emu now stepping up. Benito, good patience. Taking his time in all that open space. Scores! How on earth did he sneak that one through? Benito strikes, and hREDS have their first lead of the game.
It just felt like he was over there just cooking something up. You know, he spent a lot of time in that corner just kind of dancing around, then all of a sudden he comes out, rips a quick shot off, and is able to beat Kazu, who was in fine position, but of course we've seen goals scored from there all throughout the course of this season. Heck of a shot from Benito, showing us why he has all those points. That is his 40th of the season.
Tremendous work there. And I mean, again, you could argue like, oh, okay, it's a tough break for that shot to go in. Can't give Benito that much time in open space, and he's one of the best at it. It's what a lot of people don't understand about the game. Although here's an opportunity here for Domi. He forces it, and it's in. hREDS have struck again.
2 quick goals, and this is how hREDS can kill you. All of a sudden, they'll take you off your game. You're going to have to get more aggressive in the neutral zone. Okay, well, we got an odd man coming back the other way. Domi activates to join the rush. As you can see right there, he's got all the speed. What a smart play by Nicky Dangles as well. He slows up in the neutral zone, actually blocks 2 Jyväskylä skaters from being able to get back. And then the rest is history. 3-1 for hREDS.
As Domi will get credited with this 4th of the season. Puts Jyväskylä into a rough spot here. Domi, the feed, Villapoika! Thought he might have drawn a call. We play on, 7 minutes left. As this could end the JYP push for the #1 seed, or maybe not, as Indy gets a piece of a shot from Jamal, scores his 2nd of the game, and the lead's back down to 1. And I don't want to say I predicted this, but here we are.
I mean, this 3rd period is just opened wide open. That puck pinballed about 3 different times on its way to the back of net. We'll see if we can get another look at it here. Smart work by Lundström as he then finds, Jamal, who rips that shot, and I think it hit off the defender, then off Indy, and then I think off both of his legs on the way in. At least that's the way it looked to my eyes. Can't really tell much from those EA replays, can we? But either way, it is a 1-goal game. Plenty of time left for JYP to be able to come back.
They get 28 goals now on the season for Indies. Under 6 minutes to go here. And maybe the Jyväskylä push for the #1 seed is not done. They still need at least another goal here. And again, ideally would win in regulation. Jamal in control. Throws one on. It's blocked. Didn't even get a chance to finish my point about Benito being one of the best in terms of just being patient and realizing you don't always have to be moving your feet, but it helps in drawing calls. Yep, with the delayed opportunity here, the power play, that's if they do not score here. They have full pressure. Well, if Kazu's going to be out as the extra attacker, it doesn't look like it. No, there he is, but it's not in time. 1:50 to go in the game. 2 minutes of power play time. Nicky Dangles to the box.
And this is huge, too. They're going to have that 30 seconds of real time to play with as well, if they so need it. So, not getting the freeze like right at the 2-minute mark or anything isn't going to cost them too much. They're still going to have pretty much that full power play and a little bit extra to work with here. Still have full pressure for remaining 20 seconds. This face-off is huge.
As Jamal wins it clean. Kelly's shot eclipsed the post. Lundström for Jamal. Back to Lundström. Back skates, low shot, good stop by Finsere. Tunkelia recovers. Now Jamal, one-timer! And the puck is sent down. Have to wonder if Kazu heads to the bench. There's Jamal to Lundström. Indy's shot broken up by Domi. Trouble with the clear, though. Karkas down low for Tunkelia as Karkas continues to post up in front. Lundström's shot stopped, but kept in. 18 seconds, low shot. Benito handles the rebound. Domi is able to clear. Kazu quickly plays it back. 10 seconds here. Lundström the force across. Tunkelia still fighting for it. And the puck is chopped. What a play. And that will seal it. hREDS win in regulation. 3-2. 3 big points for them. And big smiles, certainly, for Tunnel Vision as they will finish ahead of Jyväskylä.
I mean, I have a big smile on my face. That was such an exciting third period and such an exciting end to this game as hREDS win it on the penalty kill. A clutch puck chop coming out from Benito, I believe it was, at the end right there. From behind Tonkeli as well, who was going to be first to that puck and would have given Jyväskylä one more chance to try to put that one by Finnsere. But my goodness, just a third period explosion, 3 total goals, and hREDS coming away with a huge 3 regulation points.
A big result, to say the least, at this stage, obviously affecting more than just the 2 teams involved. As again, heartbreaker for Jyväskylä, who have had such a strong season, who have been in that top spot so often. But it is now officially out of reach. They have 1 game left to go. Tunnel Vision are 5 points ahead. And Sin, we will have an updated look here at the standings in a moment once we're done with the final stats and replays, and indeed we are. So we can throw it over to that here. As again, Tunnel Vision, 30 games played, 71 points. I still think we'll throw it back over to the standing side of things, as you got the focused face on the numbers, the steam, the smoke coming out of my ears as we're trying to add up the numbers here. But Sin, you have strikers, 4 games left, so obviously a maximum of 12 points. Statistically, they still can get that result, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we have the results from the, unless that already includes the results from the Hamo game, games, I should say. And hREDS obviously still have 3 games left. Could finish as high as second when it's all said and done.
Yes, and that was a huge win for them because of that. But yeah, strikers, I mean, we know they're playing the Blackjacks, who are holding on to that 8th seed and who don't necessarily need points, but I'm sure they want to try to at least get something to try to work their way up. But it's going to be tough against that strikers club. However, I will say that historically, the Blackjacks have had this weird kind of ability to take points off of strikers. They've always kind of seemed to, at least in one of those games, have the number of even taken wins off of them in the past. So I wouldn't put it past them to be able to win one, but that would make the task so much harder for strikers. But again, four games in hand, that's 2 different matchups. So if they are able to get, again, like 10 points would put them in a tie with Tunnel Vision. That's more than obtainable in this 3-point system for them. But we'll have to see what happens here. I'm not too sure who their last matchup is, though.
I was going to say, I was taking a look at the schedule here for what we have left. Can confirm strikers did pick up both wins in regulation against Hamo. Their final 2 games are against the Blackjacks.
Oh. Well,
so there is a realistic shot as well of strikers being up there and securing that number 1 seed as well. With that, very brief break before we come back with our next game, as hREDS continue to look to move up the ladder here. Jyväskylä in a bit of a rough spot, but still have an opportunity to secure that 2 seed. We'll see if they're able to do so. Again, stick with us. We'll be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back and ready to go for our fourth and final game of this broadcast. One more time, it is hREDS and JYP Jyväskylä going head-to-head, as JYP will be finishing up their season. It'll bring hREDS to 28 games played. And again, we were talking about all the different scenarios going on in terms of just how much things can change within the top four as results continue to file in. Quick reminder, of course, what everyone's playing for here. We know who the 8 playoff teams are going to be. Now it's just a matter of the seeding, and Sin, this matchup very much affects that, as JYP currently have dropped back all the way to 3rd. They are 1 point behind Strikers. Strikers still have 2 games to go, and we know those games are against the Blackjacks as well, so Strikers still very much pushing for a number 1 seed. And for JYP, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If they were to lose this game in regulation, they could find themselves as far back as 4th if hREDS went out. Domi with the puck down low here. Now Teemu down the other way. Shot thrown on. I think I stunned Sin with the point. Oh, goodness. This is Benito. Over to Nikki Dangles. Both teams going to want that quick start. Good patience there by Nikki Dangles. Better, though, by Kazu.
Not stunned. I unfortunately had a bit of a freeze on my end as a bouncing puck goes in. Fortunately, I got a chance to see that Jyväskylä open up the scoring once again.
But again, tell me about how server connections in North America are half decent. Big goal there for Tunkelia, and a great way for JYP to start this game off. They needed it, certainly. Yeah. I mean, again, you talk about the importance of this matchup with those points that are up for grabs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's might be hard pressed for them to be able to work their way back into that number 2 spot at this point, but you know, they want as good a seeding as they can get here, so a full 3 points while denying hREDS any points got to be the goal here. We'll see what they can do.
Domi able to find Villapoika. See what the hREDS response happens to be. Has a great chance for Villapoika. Better save, though. Azu and Pinseri both come up with some big saves. It's a big move there to keep the puck going forward. hREDS able to recover, though. Here's Domi now stepping up into the attack. Good play by Indy. Look to settle things down. Ball drops it back to Landstrom. Of course, Jamal, golden helmet wearer for his team, signifying the leading point scorer. Benito wearing it for hREDS here. Surprise of probably nobody, given just how dominant of a player he's been season after season. Ema working with Domi here, almost halfway through this first period already. Trouble, though, from hREDS, and well, they'll have to reset because of it.
Yeah, much like the first game started, they're starting off and having a lot of trouble getting through the neutral zone cleanly, but they finally do here. But Nikki Dangles, miscommunication, sent that one back to a point guy who simply wasn't there.
Benito finds Teemu. hREDS able to gain the zone. We'll see if they can hold it. Nikki Dangles, nice shot. Azu did well to prevent the rebound. Good positioning.
Yeah, excellent rebound control right there, because he had a hREDS player lurking right in front of him, just waiting for a loose puck to hit his stick right there, as we see Indy absolutely decking someone in the neutral zone.
Face off here yet again. Yep, coming up with it. Reds right back in on the attack, though. Benito. Down low, Villapoika wanted the wraparound. Didn't get it that time. Foot race for it. Domi's able to win it. Nice job to get it quickly up the wall. Benito, centering feed. He gets it back. Drops for Nicky Dangles. Diving effort to keep it alive. There was a trip. And hREDS will go to the power play.
Yeah, Landstrom, I believe, is the one who committed the infraction. Indeed, he'll be sitting for 2 right here. So now we're going to get to see that hREDS power play go to work. They didn't have an opportunity in the last game. Remember, they were 32% on the power play heading in to today's matchup. So we'll see if that ruthless efficiency can come through and get them a huge tying goal.
There we go. Power play goes to work. You maintain control. What Domi and Teemu can do. Nicky Dangles for Benito. Takes an awkward bounce. Full pressure, though, for hREDS. Good save by Kazu. Loose puck. Lapoika will keep it alive. Domi for Teemu. Now Nicky Dangles down for Benito. Good zone time here for hREDS. They need to threaten a bit more. Good shot. Teemu shot deflected, and they score. As Benito finds the back of the net. Big goal there for hREDS.
Yeah, just really nice power play. I mean, they did such a good job working that perimeter, trying to get towards the middle. I love the decision-making right here. That little bit of a pivot right there prevents the forward from being in that shooting lane. And I mean, just such a good decision, and he saw the traffic in front too. Benito positioned perfectly with body position against the defender. He's able to deflect that one past Kazu. We're all tied up.
Yet another goal for Benito this season. And over 40 now. Here's Domi stepping up into the play. Finds Benito again! And he adds to the tally as... I mean, vintage hREDS there, Sin. They get one and they find ways to score in bunches.
I mean, vintage, yeah, they just did it in the last game as well. They got the 2 quick ones in the third period last time. This time they do it in the first, off of the ensuing opening face-off, no less. Just smart play right there. They find a little bit of a gap. Such a great job of activating by Domi, Domi right there. Fed it to Benito, who does that. I mean, it's just such typical of him. That slight delay and cut across the body, making it so hard for Kazu to read where he's going with that puck, and he puts it home. 42 goals on the season now.
And a trip coming up here. It goes from bad to worse for Jyväskylä as Carcass heads to the box.
Yeah, and that's just not what you want to see. You just allowed 2 quick goals, one of them being on the power play, and Kerkis right now. It's not a bad time to poke. You got maybe a bit of an unfortunate animation, but that puck was bouncing. You got to think the bump in that situation might be a little bit better. Nonetheless, they need a huge kill here.
As Indy able to at least get it back to the neutral zone. Domi stepping up. Back to the forehand, working with Teemu. Some battles in front. He dangles. Working with the defenders. Has it down low. hREDS grab the possession. They knew what they wanted. Big save by Kazu. And he's able to cover.
Yeah, that time Nicky tried to cut across the front of the goal right there. Kazu was wise to it, maybe even anticipated a little too quickly. If Nick had been able to kind of go for the short side, may have had a look, but he'd already committed to what he wanted to do. Dangerous chance nonetheless.
Teemu at the point. Shot saved again by Kazu. Jamal able to get it back to the neutral zone. hREDS don't push too quickly to get full pressure back. They do have it in the zone. We're back to 5-on-5. A move for Domi. Final few moments of this first period. Is there one last chance here for JYP? Tonkelia could not hold on to it. Nicky Dangles, same story. 3 goals, 2 of them for hREDS at the end of just the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, kind of picking up where we left off with a flurry of goals as we saw in the third period of the last game. We saw it in the first of this one, and hREDS looking pretty deadly here. Not taking as much time to sort of get out of the gate as they did in that last one, having a lead here. And that's how hREDS love to play. If they have the lead, if they're in the driver's seat, They are deadly, and just look at the numbers. Yeah, it was a couple power plays, but at the same time, Jyväskylä was only in the zone for their 1 goal, which hilariously doesn't have a shot because it was a bouncing puck. So a negative save percentage right there for Finsete, unfortunately, but a dominant performance from hREDS.
Not the first time we've seen no shots, but a goal on the board, but always entertaining nonetheless. We get ready here for the second period. Again, as always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. As we will see how this one plays out as we continue on. Again, the battle for playoff seeding here between these two teams. That's just a gigantic, I was going to say monumental save for Kazu, absolutely robbing him with the glove. And especially, too, so early on in this period to keep his team within 1. As Yip looked to get back to work here. Goaltender bailed them out in the early stages. Ball. Back for Carcass at the point. Covered here in the corner by Landstrom. And turned over yet again. It's in a bit of a slow start to the second period. I mean, at least after that early chance.
Yeah, and a little bit disjointed, kind of on both sides, but really for Jyväskylä as well. hREDS kind of picking up some of the forechecking pressure, which is causing Jyp to have to slow down as they try to, navigate out of their zone, and then hREDS just know when to drop back as well, so they're still able to get that 5 men wide at their own blue line. They just force an offside because of that for Jyväskylä, and they're having a heck of a time establishing themselves in the offensive zone because of all this.
Teemu in control. hREDS again looking to keep that momentum going. And odd moment there for Villapoika. Goes all the way back down to his own zone.
I always love the shot where you're aiming in front and it goes behind.
He dangles down low. Great job again by Jamal to take that one away. Landstrom looked to step through. Layers in defense, though. For hREDS, prevents that rush attempt as we're already halfway through the second period. Nicky dangles. Back for Domi. One-timer's blocked. And a trip coming up here, a bit too aggressive for hREDS. Yip will have a chance on the man advantage.
I believe that's going to be Benito sitting for 2. Indeed, the captain will take a seat in the box. So huge opportunity now for Jyväskylä to try to get themselves back into this. I mean, it's not like they're completely out of it. They just haven't had enough offense here. This has got to spark them. They've got to find a little bit of something going. Yeah, they're only down by 1, but they're really seeming to be taken out of this game by hREDS so far.
Again, if hREDS win this game in regulation, they have a great chance of surpassing Yip for the 3rd seed. We get ready for the postseason. Again, this is our regular season finale here on broadcast as the playoffs kick off, beginning of the new year. Take a bit of a skate with it. Teemu steps around. hREDS looking to be aggressive here, shorthanded. Might cost them. Numbers for Yip as Jamal breaks through with speed and draws yet another penalty.
Yeah, that was Nicky Dangles all the way back there, and that's the danger, It's hREDS getting aggressive right there, maybe trying to kill a lot of time off of that PK, but now it's going to be a brief 5-on-3, really only for a potential face-off play. As you saw the infraction right there, but again, that's a huge opportunity for Jyväskylä. And in the past, hREDS has taken penalty in bunches. They did it in this matchup too. Hopefully they don't get into that habit right now.
Landstrom finds its way to Indy, now Tunkelia. Minute 40 on the power play. It's 5-on-4. Landstrom can't get the shot through. Domi, smart pass for Teemu, who's able to send it down.
Yeah, really good work on the penalty kill so far. JYP just not able to do what they clearly are wanting to do here on the power play. And it's going to cost them nearly. Benito coming the other way with a shorthanded look.
Benito sends it down low, just past the left pad of Kazu. Still 30 seconds to work with here on the man advantage. Jamal drops back for Indy. Now Jamal, good movement. Landstrom to Tunkelia. And again, oh man, a bomb of a shot just wide for Jamal. We're back to 5-on-5. Jamal, that one gets through. Good stop there by Finsere. Full pressure here for Jyväskylä. Arcus at the point. Tunkelia's shot. Good block by the defense. Benito has trouble. Jamal sneaks it through, but this one is being waved off. We'll get another look at it.
Oh, yeah, you can see the bump right there. Yeah, it was Indy thinking the puck was going to him. He's trying to take a shot. And that's definitely going to be goaltender interference. I thought because of the way it bounced, maybe they're looking at a kick because it may have hit off a skate, but absolutely not. That's coming back, and that is a heartbreaker for you.
Accidental or not, punching the goalie in the mask is probably going to result in the goal being waved off.
Yeah.
Although it does remind me of the old days. It was like NHL 13, 14, just running goaltenders over.
That was so much fun.
During every break and play. As hREDS in control here, both of the puck at the moment. Commentator's curse exists. See if I manage to jinx them as well, as they still have a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, with a quick icing right here. Good offensive zone draw opportunity for Jyväskylä. Again, they just need to keep compounding some of the pressure that they've been able to get from the power play, turn it into some 5-on-5 success, but they can't come up with the win there.
Mickey Dangles drops back for Benito, turns it over, they win it back. Consistent scrambles for possession in high danger areas. Final minute of this second period. Battle for the puck, and Jamal's gonna get called for interference as the physicality not working out for Jyväskylä here down the stretch.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for them as, I mean, it's not a bad play. You can tell they're trying to be aggressive, trying to forecheck. There's nothing wrong with that. And unfortunately for him, he actually got locked onto the wrong guy for the hit right there. It wasn't a bad attempt, just kind of a bad luck situation. But hREDS have a deadly power play, and they're going to get to go back to work.
Domi in control. Working Matemu, 7 seconds left. Good glove save by Kazu, who will play it out. And that'll do it for the second period. A surprisingly goalless second period as hREDS maintain the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and if you're Jyväskylä, you just... It's hard to say how you fix this because hREDS has started to play so good right now. You know, like I said, in all three zones, they're just being so aggressive and really stopping Jyväskylä from doing what they really want to do. And that's been tough for them. You kind of can feel out of sorts when you're not able to get yourself established in the offensive zone. Did a better job of that in that period, of course, but they did have, you know, some power play time. They had a little bit of carryover. It's going to start the third period with some power play time as well, but it's always a bit tougher when a power play is split up over 2 periods because you have to start in the neutral zone. You got to try to regain that line, and if you don't win that opening face-off, that's a whole lot more time coming off of the clock for you to potentially work with. But you know, you can't rely on power plays to score either. And for Jyväskylä, you got to find a way to get a heck of a lot more pressure and chances at the 5-on-5.
So here we go. Third period ready to begin. The last 20 minutes of play. Jyväskylä are promised this season. At one point in time, looking like it would be a first place finish. Now in danger of finishing third, if not as low as fourth, depending on whether or not hREDS get this win in regulation and then what they do in their final 2 games of the season. As those last 2 games, by the way, played against the Fallon Coal Miners, who are currently trying to avoid relegation. Benito misses the net there. 30 seconds left on the hREDS power play. That's a good look. Benito tries to throw it on. It's blocked. You get angles for Teemu. We're nearly back to 5-on-5. It was a big play by Indy. Chops it up the head to Jamal, I should say. But unfortunately, lost a little bit of speed and stride. Marcus throws one on. Good save there by Finsere. As Benito or Villapoica, it's knocked away. And at the end of this one, we'll have one more look at the standings as they happen to be. Penalty called here. hREDS gonna go to the power play.
Yeah, this is just so unfortunate for Jyväskylä. You're trying to get back into a rhythm. Now you have to kill off yet another penalty here. As you're down by one, you keep giving this strong hREDS power play chances. But you can see it a little bit antsy there, going for those potential rebound shots when they haven't been there yet. That's just a sign of a team who's maybe a little pressing a little bit right now and who are frustrated.
Quick movement here from hREDS to kick off this power play. Teemu shot stopped by Kazu, and it deflects out of play.
Yeah, I even think that may have clipped the post. I thought I heard the ping sound right before it sailed over the net. Nonetheless, it does stay out, but hREDS continuing to get those dangerous looks.
Face off here. Attacking zone on this power play for hREDS. Still have possession. Domi able to keep it. Benito has his shot blocked. Indy able to clear it out. Get her halfway home. Teemu, good job weaving through. Domi back to him. Held it for too long. Indy nearly able to take it away. Benito, 20 seconds left on the power play. He dangles through it in front off the skates of Villapoica. Domi gets it to Villapoica, and Kazu is able to cover. It's another successful kill.
And once again, good job on the rebound control there. That puck was bouncing for a little bit, but didn't come out far enough. Nicky Dangles was lurking on that right-hand post.
Teemu in control. Full pressure here for hREDS. Very least, even if they're not getting the high-quality chances they want, they are killing this clock. Lundstrom, the interception, has trouble. And Indy wisely plays it out. Domi, though, able to reestablish the zone. He dangles the Domi. Full pressure expires. Teemu threw it on. Good stop by Kazu.
Yeah, somehow that found its way all the way through. And now for Jyväskylä, you got to burn more time just trying to get your stamina bars back after that pressure.
Go back to the neutral zone. We're halfway through the third period. Lundstrom will dump it in over the left shoulder of Finsere. Jamal for Tunkelia. hREDS able to take it away. What a pass up ahead to Villapoica. Nicky dangles. Benito nearly got it back across. I believe. Not sure if that's just on our side or if that's the Discord side in general here. Play did continue on. We're going to be a little bit behind here on our call as our live feed has dropped a little bit, but the third period is continuing on. And we'll see what happens here as we have restored order. And YYP trying to tie this one late if they can. Full pressure, 5 minutes to go. Down by one. The 1T for Indy picked off by Domi. Teemu back for Domi up ahead now. Villapoica unable to gain the zone. Time running out here. Downed player for hREDS back to his feet. Nicky dangles. Villapoica with a great defensive play. Lundstrom back for Jamal. Tried the short side. Marcus unable to hold on, and Jamal scores! The trend continues, Sin. The goals out of nowhere. And a huge goal for Jyväskylä.
Yeah, absolutely massive right there. Just such a good job of just sticking with it and trying to get that cycle game going. They do. They get that one down low, fed back in front. Jamal comes up with it, has half of the left side of the net to shoot at, and makes no mistake. Massive tying goal here for Jyväskylä. And it's far from over now, but both of these teams definitely going to want that extra point for the regulation win. We'll see what happens in the last 2 minutes of play.
Filipoika, centering feed, knocked away. Domi, big steal. Benito for Nicky Dangles, good opportunity. Jyväskylä here, and a tough break as Tunkelia went off of his skate. He just couldn't recover it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. And by the time the puck was near him, he was doing that drag your foot animation and couldn't get the puck pickup, goes offside. That's kind of a heartbreaker right there. That was a good rush opportunity that was squandered.
Off the draw, hREDS in control. Benito, the centering feed. Landstrom was there. Nicky Dangles, Filipoika, a huge save by Kazu. 10 seconds to go. A massive save there. The feed in front. Landstrom's backhand. Finsere finds and covers. 2.8 to go. Kazu heads to the bench, perhaps. See if it was just a tease.
No, I don't think
it was.
So. Yeah.
I would have brought him out there. I mean, I don't know if that's considered poor sportsmanship or not, but with that, both teams secure a point. That will bring Jyväskylä up to 67. Of course, can only finish now with 68, whereas hREDS are up to 61. So for hREDS, that journey of trying to jump ahead of Yip just got a little bit more difficult. They certainly need to look to win this in overtime.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That extra point's going to be huge for them in their journey, but what a game for hREDS, though. I mean, credit where it's due. Jyväskylä hanging in there, able to get that late goal, but the numbers so much in favor of hREDS, including on the face-offs. I mean, Benito has just been ruthless, tripling his counterpart Jamal right there. I mean, perhaps some of them on the PK with certain people in the box, but nonetheless, I mean, just hREDS with the advantage all across the board. But it won't matter if they're not able to pick up this next goal here.
Overtime underway as we look to wind down our regular season coverage here for the ECL's Elite Division. And a big save early on by Kazu. Puck was still loose. And again, Snow Angels to cover.
Dangerous opportunity right there, right off the opening drop. Benito fed that down low to Nicky Dangles, who went for that short side, but Kazu all over that. Nearly had a secondary opportunity, though, but he did fall back on the puck.
Landstrom able to gain the line, but not able to make the follow-up pass. Teemu stepping up for hREDS. In control now, Nicky Dangles. It ends up on net. Kazu keeps it out. There have been quite a few plays like that. The pucks just finding their way to goal. Arcus here takes his time, finds Landstrom, and again, hREDS doing a good job of patrolling the line. That was a huge pick-off by Landstrom. Offside here.
Yeah, nice attempt right there for Jyväskylä, but you can kind of see some of the difference. Jyp is more inclined to sort of reset, whereas hREDS a lot of the time, they're able to sort of break out immediately from their zone, which is kind of an adjustment that they made because Jyväskylä was doing such a good job early on, kind of holding them off the blue line. But even now, hREDS just going to comfortably line up 5 wide, and decent area sauce attempt, but he couldn't quite get the pickup.
Huge hit there by Jamal. Finds Tunkelia. Just out of his reach again. He's had some bad luck this game. Landstrom, good patience. Still holding on. One time building. Tunkelia back for Landstrom. hREDS seemingly inviting the pressure here. Benito able to pick it off. Another crucial interception for a JYP defender.
Absolutely. If Gerkes doesn't pick that off, that's a 2-on-1.
Benito for Domi. Defender stepping up. Good job by Indy on the back check. Lundstrom now in control. Jamal couldn't weave his way through. Battle along the boards. Big hit there by Benito. Gets wiped out. Nicky Dangles recovers. Tried to go to Villapoika. Kazu got a piece of it. Benito to the point. Temu. Domi scores! Nicky Dangles, the deflection in front. hREDS pull off the double, taking 5 of 6 points away from Jyväskylä as JYP's season ends in disappointing fashion. Again, they'll finish today in 3rd place and could be as far down as 4th, depending on hREDS' final 2 games of the season.
Yeah, just 1 out of 6, but what a nice welcome back to the Elite Division coverage for Nicky Dangles. Of course, his limited sample size this season. That was a big game winner right there. Such a good job by hREDS working that puck around, then getting that point shot away with some traffic in front and a clear shooting lane. Puck on the ice, as you can see, deflected over Kazu. No chance. And a huge 5 out of 6 points in this matchup for hREDS.
A big result indeed. Again, on our final day of coverage here for the regular season, a day in which we confirmed our 8 postseason teams, but there is still some aspects to be decided, of course, heading into some of the games that are being played tomorrow, as well as you get a look there at the final numbers. Kazu, again, doing everything he could to keep his team in it. 20 of 23 stopped. But tonight was simply hREDS' night, and that was, an interesting game as well. 1 for 4 on the power play. JYP certainly, over the course of the 2 games, had some penalty troubles.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And, you can't do that against a team with, coming into today, they were 32% on the power play. That's just... you can't afford to do it, but that's what hREDS does to teams. They put pressure on them, especially when they take that lead. Teams, it's just some aura about hREDS and the way they play. It's that teams really feel like they have to just make something happen out there, because really they do, because hREDS can suffocate you. And we saw that in that game. They were the better team throughout the entirety of it, and it took overtime for them to get the win, but they did get the win at the end of the day.
So with that, one final look here at the standings as we bring this broadcast to a close. Again, it is tunnel vision holding on to that number 1 seed at the moment, but they can be surpassed by Strikers, who can finish with a maximum of 73 points. For Jyväskylä, it is 3rd or 4th, depending on the result of hREDS' final 2 games against 14th ranked Fallon Coal Miners. They can obviously finish with an extra 6 points, so up to 68. They could indeed pass JYP. The journey there has gotten a little bit more difficult due to that last game ending in overtime. And of course, elsewhere, we'll keep an eye on the likes of Radical, who could still go up or, maybe not down, of course. Well, depending on tiebreaker, actually, with the Blackjacks. But again, the Blackjacks have some very tough games as well. Again, against Strikers coming up to finish their season. So we still don't know what the exact seeding will be for our 8 playoff teams, but we do know that those 8 have made it. So a big congratulations to those teams. And of course, on the right side of the bracket, Mayhems, Polsky Boys, Hamo, and Goons have secured their spot in our spring season coming up in 2024. And then those bottom 4 teams, 13, 14, 15, will be playing a relegation battle. 16th automatically relegated. The season is not done yet for Lekstugan, but they are holding on to this spot in the Elite Division for dear life and need results in their final 4 games.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, pretty much 2 regulation wins is needed, because you never know what Roots can do. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Lekstugan, but at the same time, it's been a solid journey for a lot of these teams, and There's always something to play for here in the Elite Division. But yeah, big congrats to all the playoff teams, and especially those who have punched their ticket to be here guaranteed in next season.
So with that, we will wind things down here for our coverage again. Make sure to keep an eye out on SportsGamer for the final standings details. But you see there our upcoming broadcast in terms of the playoffs, which kick off on Wednesday, January 3rd. Again, we will be able to bring a lot more of the action to you. And of course, our Pro Division coverage does not stop either, as those kick off on January the 9th. So make sure to tune in the new year, as we will be wrapping up our winter season then. And of course, still so much more to come in 2024 for us here at SportsGamer. But for now, thank you very much for joining us here. Thank you for supporting us here at SportsGamer throughout 2023. And we will see you all in the new year.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.